Hey friends, welcome to A Little of It All. My name is Taylor. Thanks so much for hanging out today. I'm so grateful that you're here. If this is your first time stopping by, I would love it if you stayed a while. Be sure to subscribe and check out that description box. It'll just tell you a little bit more about what we have going on over here. We're all about zero-based budgeting and cash stuffing, but I do love a little of it all. Okay, friends, this is it. This is where we sit down together and we hash out and figure out our new budget. We are starting over from scratch-ish. Like, a lot of these numbers are staying the same, but we're seeing what our new budget is going to look like with a new home, our dream home, our mortgage, and then we're adding in a couple of bills. We're eventually going to be taking away some bills. We're just going to hash it all out here together. Let me make sure that I say before we jump in and get started, this is not like a how-to zero-based budget. I do have that video and I'll link it in the cards now. This is so us moving forward from the budget that we had before we had our mortgage to now figuring out what amounts are going to come out from where and just getting all that situated. So you guys know that I'm real transparent and honest with you about our money and our bills and how much we make. So I've kind of broken it down into three separate categories. We have the first of the month bills, middle of the month bills, and then the end of the month bills. The first of the month bills are usually taken out of my check. I am a high school teacher. I get paid once a month and I make $2,681. So what we have without our mortgage right now is the first part of our tithe, which is $270. Trash is $16. My teacher's insurance is $11. Universal Yums is $45. Storage units are $140. Then we have another storage unit that stays. Like this storage unit is going to go away eventually when we move. This one stays though, the $55. We have the puppy pills, that is $114. Our water right now I'm budgeting $50. Same with electricity, I'm budgeting $200. And then our internet bill is $85, and then my Canva subscription is $13. Now, you'll see I also have gas here with a question mark beside it. We've never lived in a house that has run off or needed natural gas. However, the one that we just bought does, and so I'm not quite sure what that bill is going to look like and how it works, like if it's just what you use per month or if there's a minimum payment like our water bill. So I have $25 down with a question mark there because that's what I'm thinking to budget right now. But again, I don't know. Gonna have to probably play with that one a little bit, and I'm also going to include this storage units that's worth $140 right now. However, like I said, that one is going to be going away once we move. Hopefully we'll be done with that one in March, and so that will be $140 back into our account that I'm hoping we can put all of it, if not most of it, on our student loans payment, which comes out in the middle of the month bills. So let's flip back to the first of the month. Let's add all of this up together and see kind of what we're working with before we even take out our mortgage. So we have all of these added up together right now is $1,024. So let's subtract that, $2,681 minus $1,024. So that means we have $1,657 left. Now, our mortgage, that is what I have not told you yet. Our mortgage is a total of $1,918 a month. So this is what we're going to have to pay for our mortgage every month. Obviously, we can't take that out of the first of the month bills. We're going to have to split it up between our three checks. So what I'm thinking is doing $1,000 out of the beginning of the month and then splitting it between the other two. So I do have some of my budget sheets here. Let's see how that would work. That would be plus $1,000. That would be $2,024. Okay, so let's see. This would be any month. Check number one, the amount is $2,681, and then the money we would leave in the bank is $2,024, and that would cover $1,000 worth of our mortgage and then the rest of our bills from the beginning of the month. So $2,681 minus $2,024. Okay, so that would leave us $657 to stuff and everything else. So let's look at our wallet categories first and see. I think we're gonna scratch buffer. We're gonna take buffer out completely, and we'll just do one category of a miscellaneous / buffer. And then I feel like a lot of these are about to be like slashed in half and deducted. So let's just see here. So we've got $657, and we know our groceries, we budget $200. So that's $25 in both of our wallets, and then $150 in the sinking funds category. Sinking funds for gas doesn't get anything, but in our wallets, we both get $50 each for $100. And then household, we have been budgeting $70 per check for household. However, let's cut it down to $50 and see if we can make that work. So in our wallets, we'll both get $10, and then the sinking funds binder will get $30, 40, 50. Okay, so that's minus $50. Okay, and then of course we have to take care of our pups. I usually at bare minimum like to put $20 in their pups envelope and at least $30 for food. Okay, this is looking pretty slim. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do our annuals. Now our annuals do change throughout the year. However, that's what we're working with right now. I know our 5 annuals, so let's see how this is looking. So we've got Prime, VPN, Beach, Body, PO, Box, and Sam's. Okay, so for Prime we take out 12, and then the rest get 5s, so that is minus 32. Okay. Ooh, I don't know if this is going to be able to work. All right, so spending, we're going to keep spending. Honestly, we're going to keep spending at $20 because I know if we don't have that money, we're just going to spend. So I'm still trying to allow us to have something. For eating out, Scott usually gets 20. Let's cut it down to 10, and I'll get 5. I usually get 10 there. So that'll be minus 15. Going out with friends, I usually get 10. Let's do 5. Drinks, we both usually get 10, but let's try some 5s here and see how they'll work. And honestly, I'm going to leave our toiletries the same as well because I know that we're going to need that money. Like, we're going to run out of toiletry type things. So that's going to be $30. Okay, so we have $125 left for the sinking funds binder and for savings challenges. So if I just put 5 in all of our sinking funds, that is $60, and that only leaves $65 for challenges. What I'm not factoring out, what I do need to try to think about is a subscribe and save. Really, that's only going to leave us $35. Okay, I don't think $1,000 is going to work here. I think we're going to have to scratch this and see if we can make it work a different way. Okay, so back to the drawing board. Again, our bills total for the month. Let me go ahead and add in subscribe and save just so I can say that I've accounted for it. And let me add, so it's 10, 24 plus 30. So that is $1,054. We're gonna scratch this. So let's honestly try $850. It's not much of a difference, but let's see. All right, so $1054 plus $850, so that is $1,904. So that would give us $777 to work with everything. So let's go through on this sheet and see how this would be any month. Thank you guys for working through this with me. I know this is a lot. I'm trying to work through it and make it work in my brain. Okay, $2,681. You can just kind of see like the process that I go through here to figure everything out. All right, so $2,681. Money to leave in the bank is $1,904. And again, that accounts for all of our beginning of the month bills and then $850 towards our mortgage. So money that we would be taking out to stuff into our sinking funds, our wallets, our annuals, our challenges would be $777. So we know we're taking out buffer. We're just going to have one miscellaneous and buffer envelope. Groceries stay the same with $25, $25, and $150. So that's minus $200. And then gas is $50 and $50, and that's $100. Household, we said 10 and 10, and then 30 over here. So let's go ahead and subtract this before I lose track. So that's $150. Okay, so this is $327 that we've got to work with. Let's go ahead and move over to our annuals: Prime, Beachbody, VPN, Sam's, and P.O. Box. That is 12, and then 5s all the way through for a total of 32. Okay, and then spending, we've got 40. Nope. Spending, we have 20 and 24, 40. Eating out, Scott gets 10, I get 5 for 15. Going out with friends, I get 5. Drinks are now 5 and 5 for a total of 10. And then toiletries, we do 10 and 20 for a total of 30. And then miscellaneous / buffer will do 5s for a total of 10. Okay, so now I'm going to go over here because clearly I forgot pups already. So our pups get 20 and 30, and that is a total of 50. So now we have $135 for challenges and for our sinking funds. So let's keep it the same. Let me just put 5 in everything. So that's a total of 60. So then that would mean $75 would be left for challenges here. And would we use $75 every time? No, probably not. So then that means we could put more into our sinking funds and like kind of stuff up the ones that are getting a little bit slim or that we need to put more in, but we would have at least $75 if we just put 5s into all of our sinking funds. Okay, so this would be beginning of month bills, beginning of month bills, which was a total of $1,054, and then this was going to be $850 of our mortgage. And let me say that this does include subscribe and save. Okay, so this is what beginning of the month is looking like. Can you read it? Does it make sense? Is my chicken scratch understandable to you guys? All right, I'm thinking this is going to be good for the first of the month check. All right, let's move over to our middle of the month bills and for Scott's paycheck. Now, remember, Scott is on disability pay right now. Thank the Lord Jesus that has come through. So I'm not gonna do his disability pay numbers. I'm gonna do his actual paychecks because he's not going to be on disability for forever. It's just while we are healing up and working on his back. So he makes $1,433 twice a month. So that's $1,433. He actually makes more than I do, but it's just split up into 2 different checks. That's why there's smaller numbers. So let's look at our middle of the month bills, what they cover. So we have Apple storage for $10, Peacock for $7, Disney Plus is $15, Google Plus is $3, my cell phone is $91, student loans is $140, and then half of State Farm is $50. Let me go ahead and add in another subscribe and save. That will also go away, or we'll only get those when we need them, when we move into our new house. That's for the puppy pads. Our pups cannot go in and out freely right now where we live. However, we are planning on purchasing a doggy door for them to be able to do that, and you guys know we saved up for the fencing in the backyard. So we're not going to be on a reoccurring subscribe and save situation once we move. So that'll be another at least $30 that we'll be able to cycle back into our budget, along with the storage units that are $140. But for right now, I'm just going to take it out because that is part of our bills. So let's add all of this up together and see where we're at here. All of these added up together, this is $346. Now let's subtract. We have 1918 minus 850. So divided by 2. So for mortgage, for the next 2 paychecks, we need to budget out $534 if we're going to be able to make the $850 work from the beginning of the month check. So that's going to be $534. Okay, so let's do $534 plus the $346. And so that means we have $880 that we need to leave in the bank for our bills and our mortgage for the second paycheck of the month. And let's just kind of work this out and see how this is going to go. This is going to be any month second paycheck, $1,433. Money to leave in the bank is $880. So let's see, we've got $1,433 minus $880. So $553 is what we're going to be working with for our second paycheck. So let's go ahead and go through and see what we are working with here. So we know groceries doesn't change. That is $200. Gas is $100. And then household, we've bumped that down to $250. So that's minus $50. All right, and then our annuals, Prime, VPN, Beachbody, P.O. Box, and Sam's. That's 12 and 5s all the way through for $32. Okay, so let's see if we're going to be able to make this work. All right, so spending 20 and 24, 40. Eating out 10 and 5 for 15. Going out with friends, me a 5. Drinks 5 and 5 for a total of 10. Toiletries, we have 10 and 24, 30. And then miscellaneous and buy for 5 and 5, that is 10. Ooh, for the second paycheck of the month, what we may have to start doing is picking sinking funds to stuff, because we still have to give our pups, we're gonna have to cut that down to $10 and $30 for their food, so that's gonna be $40, so that's $21, and I'm not even stuffing savings challenges. That $30 is gonna be cycled back in soon, so that would be $51 total, but for right now it's just $21. We may just allot 11 to savings challenges, and then 10 to sinking funds, and that's not a lot. We have 12 total sinking funds. We could pick our 10 favorite and just put $1 in there, or we could put the whole 10 in one, or we could split it up into 5 and 5. I'm not sure, but for right now, for the second paycheck of the month, what we have is $10. So that's okay. This is the beauty of a zero-based budget. Sometimes paychecks are going to be smaller than others, but what's important is that you still budget them, and every one of your dollars has a purpose and a place. So this is what our second paycheck of the month is looking like, leaving $880 in the bank. That includes $534 for our mortgage, $364 for our bills, pulling out $553 in cash, and using that to stuff up our wallets, sinking funds, annuals, and challenges. Okay, this is looking good. Let's move on to our third and final paycheck of the month. Are you guys tired of this yet? Thank you so much for just hanging out with me and watching my thought process play out before you. All right, so end of month bills, we have the last little bit of our State Farm, which is $57, the last part of our tithe, which is $270, and again, I'll go ahead and put in that subscribe and save at least for the first month or so while we're budgeting our mortgage. I know for February we're going to need those. Hopefully after that we can cancel it. Fingers crossed, and that'll be $90 back into our account. So let's see. For our bills, we have $57, $270, $30. So that is that almost exactly the same? Are these going to be exactly the same numbers?
All right, guys, it's time to see who won our 3K giveaway. This winner is going to be Gigi, Budget with Gigi. Thank you so much, my friend. You are awesome. And next one for our 4K giveaway, this one is going to be Life Kindness Budgets. Thank you guys so much for entering in your support.
Almost. This one is just like $11 more. So total, this is $357. We can see how this is going to play out. Plus $534 for our mortgage. So that is going to be a total of $891 left in the bank for our bills for our third and final paycheck. So this is any month, check number 3, $1,433. Money to leave in the bank is $891. And so that means $1,433, $891. To stuff, we will have $542 to stuff. So this is gonna be almost exactly like our second check of the month, except we're gonna be $11 off. So until we cycle back in the $30 for the subscribe and save, so it's looking like what we're gonna have to do for the third paycheck of the month is it's looking like we're not gonna be able to do any challenges, because that's exactly $11 and that's how much more this one is. So let's just go ahead and work through it anyway. So this is $542, groceries again, $200. So minus 200, gas is 50 and 50. So that's minus 100. Household is 10, 10 and 30 for a total of 50. And then we have our pups. They are going to get 10 and 30 for a total of 40. And then we have Prime, VPN, Beachbody, PO Box, and Sam's, and that is a total of 32 because we have 12 and then 5s all the way down. Spending 20, 20 and 40 total. Eating out 10 and 5 is going to be 15. Going out with friends is going to be 5. Drinks is 5 and 5. And toiletries is 10 and 20 for 30. And then miscellaneous and buffer, that is 10. And so yes, we have 10 for sinking funds. And these numbers are not permanent. It does not have to stay like this. One pay period, we may not stuff our eating out envelope or our drinks envelope, or our annuals are going to change throughout the year, so that will be money added back in. We don't have as many annuals towards the end of the year as we do towards the beginning of the year. So I know like Prime, like all of these are going to end in May. Prime is our last one and it comes out in May. We do have a couple more towards the end of the year, but again, they're not big. Beachbody, we just stuff $5 all year until its subscription comes up in November. So we're going to have money kind of fluctuating and coming in and out of the budget as the year goes on. I hope you guys will stick around, even though our stuffings are going to be a little bit smaller than they normally are and what they have been on my channel. It's just going to be a little bit of a different situation, a different adjustment, but that's how life goes, right? It ebbs, it flows. Sometimes you have a little, sometimes you have a lot, but all that matters is that we're still budgeting and we're still going to make good use of our money, and we're going to use the skills that we developed when we had a lot, and we're going to apply those same skills when we don't have so much to. So yeah, make sure you stick around to watch how this grows and changes and evolves for us, because it's still going to be a fun journey and an exciting one no matter what, because like we're going to have a house now and that's super duper fun. Okay, so just an overview. This is our 3 checks. It is chicken scratch city, but you guys got kind of like a little inside glimpse of how my brain works when I'm trying to go through all of this. We have our first of the month, middle of the month, end of the month, and again, this is all going to change and probably evolve and not be anything like I planned it to be in this video, but at least we've got kind of an idea of what we're going to be working with and what we're going to be able to budget each paycheck, and I'm excited about it. It's going to be new, it's going to be fun, it's going to be different, and we're going to do it all together, and I'm so excited that you guys are here. Thanks for sticking with me and hanging out in this video. I really, really appreciate you guys. I know your time is valuable, and I just so appreciate it that you spend it with me. You guys are just the best, and you're wonderful, and you're magnificent, and don't give up doing great things, my friends. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.